Hello and welcome to the very first Living Room Chat podcast with myself, Ryan.
And myself, Matt.
So Matt and I have been working as self-employed estate agents, 6-7 months now?
I'm in my 8th month,
Cool.
I think.
So I'm in my 8.5 month.
Yeah.
Which is my ninth month. So basically we work for the same company but run our own limited businesses, and probably from the first time we met, I think we got on quite well, very similar interests, very similar outlook on life, and we talked about starting a podcast probably about 6 months ago, didn't we?
It's always been a topic of conversation, and like with anything, talking about it's one thing. Doing it is something else.
Yeah.
So here we are today.
Do you think it's coincided with the property market going?
Yeah, probably.
And now now it's November, we've got a bit more time on our hands.
We've got time on our hands. Property market's gone to shit, and so cheers.
So kicking off our first episode of our podcast, basically what we wanted to do was, we are going to talk a little bit about property, but just an honest opinion as from an estate agency point of view, sort of take off our property hats as estate agents and just talk about what we genuinely feel about certain things. So property is going to be one topic. I think we're quite keen to talk about some current affairs, some news stories that are happening.
Yeah, I have lots of opinions, which I like to share.
You definitely do.
So this is going to be a forum for our opinions to be shared and talked about. And of course, we want this to be a forum where people can ask us questions about property, about what's going on in the world, and hopefully be a little bit entertaining.
But I think the main thing we want to get across is we just want to have fun and just talk about our opinions and have a platform to do it, really, isn't it?
So here we are.
A little bit of property related as well.
Yeah, a sprinkle of property in there. Just a little bit.
There we go. So should we do like a little introduction to ourselves? Like just say a bit of our background and where we're based, or...
This feels like, like the first day of a new job or whatever, and you stand up.
Yeah.
They're always like, give us one fun fact about yourself. And I'm always like, shit, I haven't done anything ever in my whole life.
You definitely just ripped your coat as well, didn't you?
I'm sure I did just rip my coat. Yeah.
Well, it serves you right for wearing a coat inside, to be fair.
It's getting cold though now, isn't it?
So, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Who am I? I'm Matt. I'm a self-employed estate agent, as Ryan just told you. I live in Shinfield, in Reading, sell houses. I make music sometimes. I make content. And this is me, myself and I.
Thank you, Matt. Nice to meet you.
Well, what's the 30-second rundown of Ryan Bloomfield?
So, my name's Ryan. I also live in Reading in Berkshire in the UK, in case we get like a global audience. Place called Tilehurst, which is the far west of Reading. I'm also a self-employed estate agent. I've been an estate agent for, it'll be 15 years next year.
15 years?
15 years. I started when I was 17. Seems a long time. It's like nearly half my life I've been an estate agent. But I've seen some ups and some downs. I love football. A very keen downhill mountain biker. I did play guitar but I'm not as good as you on your guitar, so I don't really do music.
I haven't played for a little while. I'm a bit rusty, but yeah.
But that's it. And live with my wife and daughter, and I think I'm just a typical bloke. Just a bloke. Likes a beer with his mates. Just a bloke. Football. Wow. Do as little as you can around the house and have a good time. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Although let's start. We're in Ryan's house today. It's the first time I've been over to Ryan and Lauren's place.
Yeah, first impressions?
Well, you say you don't do any housework. It's very clean and tidy here.
That's all Lauren. And actually, to be fair, we were supposed to film this at your house, and then we changed it about 2 hours before. So I didn't just run around. It actually was quite tidy.
So my only question is, if you were an estate agent coming into this house, why do you not have any stuff on the wall?
Yeah, do you know what? So we only moved in here June 21, so we've been here about
over
15, 16. It's quite a while. Well, this room was a complete shithole. The old boy we brought it off, lived in here pretty much permanently. So we had a lot of work to do. It had warm air heating. So I had vents in the floor, vents in the ceilings. There used to be a door behind you there. So if you tap that wall, the other side of it, there you go. Yeah. So that's just literally stud wall there. So we blocked that door up and we've redecorated, TV on the wall, got all the new furniture. But we need a mirror. We need a mirror there, and a picture there. I think would look really good.
Yeah, that's all you
It
need.
just is.
Finishing touches.
It's kind of very blank canvas, clean and tidy. We need to do the windows. We need to do the blinds. So there's a few bits we need to do.
So you said there was an old boy living here before.
Yeah.
Was it like how old are we talking?
He was like probably late 80s, and he'd been here from day dot, I think.
When was this built?
70s, yeah.
Yeah.
Mid 70s. But it just honestly, the carpets, they're still in my garage actually. I haven't put them away. I haven't taken down the tip yet. It was like they were threadbare. The insulation, the underlay when we took it off, was just disintegrating. It was awful.
Do you know what I've found really funny being an estate agent? The amount of houses I go into, and you must be the same, that haven't had anything done since like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
And I thought, you'd think most houses by now would be updated in some form or another.
But then it's like with everything that's going on in the world. I know. Obviously, it's easy to say, but actually, like cost of living, you do when you just to recarpet a room, £500 or decorate or get it. It all adds up, and I think a lot of people just got to save up each month to do it, haven't they? But the amount of times I've sold houses to people, and they've got these massive plans, and I go back to value it when they want to sell it and upsize 3 years later, and I'm like, shit, bro, this is exactly the same. Like, you've decorated, well done, congratulations. But everything else is exactly the same. Kitchen's the same. Oh, what happened to the extension you were going to do? Yeah, we didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably see it as well, though.
The standard is like just take off the kitchen doors, paint them grey.
Yeah.
Put them back on.
There's nothing wrong with grey, bud. It's not really grey, actually, is it? It's more like a eggshell. I don't know what colour that is.
Do you know what I did when I tapped the wall though? It just made me think of all of the viewings I've done. Where someone comes to their
Yeah, it's the dads. It's the dads that
It's
come
always
round.
the dads. They're like frowning,
tapping the walls. Oh, solid wall there.
yeah.
It's a Victorian terrace, mate. They're all brick.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with that wall exactly? Don't know, mate. Just want to tap it.
Yeah. And which way do the pipes run? I don't know, Steve. It doesn't matter, does it? Like, it really doesn't matter. There we go. Anyway, we digress already. Yeah, so that's what podcasts do, though, don't they? They just digress and go off on a tangent a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Joe Rogan's like one of my favourite podcasts, and 3-hour episodes.
Yeah.
And you look at it and think, how does he fill out 3 hours?
We're not doing 3 hours. No,
I've got places.
Yeah, me too. I've got things to do as well. One thing I wanted to talk. Let's jump straight into a topic though. Yesterday, obviously, we're filming this on a Monday. Yesterday was the initial launch of this interview between Piers Morgan and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, both massive football fans. We've only seen snippets of it, but it seems. They won't use the word explosive. It does. It almost seems like his career's ended him. You can't go back after saying that sort of thing, doing an interview. You can't go back to your club, can you?
Surely not. And I'm so sad in a way because I was so rooting for Ronaldo when he came back to United last season. Remember, like the first few games of last season, he was smashing it. It was great.
Well, last season he was their top scorer.
Yeah,
he was Man United's top scorer. This season, different story.
But
only the snippets I've seen, like he talked about Ralph Rangnick. Is it Rangnick? The old manager. Before Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Saying that he's not really a manager, didn't know who he was. It was rude. Like you're a professional at the end of the day, and you don't go on an interview, especially with someone like Piers Morgan, who's obviously quite opinionated anyway. I bet Piers loved it, didn't he?
What?
God, tell me all the bad shit.
You can
this
tell
is
me
going to blow
anything.
up.
You
He's
can tell
counting
me
the
anything,
money,
Cristiano. We're friends.
Yeah.
What I want to know is how that came about.
Yeah.
Like, whose agent called who to set that up?
Because he did say, if you remember, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, he wasn't saying anything to the press when all of that stuff was swirling around and being on bench and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he said, my words will come out. Don't worry. I will talk about this in the future.
Oh, okay. He said.
Do you reckon they already booked in and it was already planned? Clearly it was, wasn't there? But
I'll be in touch, Piers.
One thing I found quite interesting, and again, we've only seen a 2-minute snippet that's come out. I think the full interviews are Wednesday and Thursday this week, which I'm looking forward to. But he talked about leaving United and then coming back. What was it? Nearly 10 years later.
Yeah,
and nothing's changed. Like he was saying, everything's the same. The gym's the same. The
technology,
the
canteen,
kitchen, everything's set in its ways. Nothing's moved on. And for a club that size, like when you look at my club Arsenal and all the reinvention there and things that are going on, City with new training grounds, there's so much happening. And for a club like United to not move forward.
Well, I'm really intrigued as to how like high level football clubs work, and I really enjoyed the Amazon behind the scenes series they've done in the last few
Mate,
seasons.
everyone loves Arsenal now. We've gone from the most hated club in the UK to probably one of the favourites just because of Arteta in that series.
I haven't seen the Arsenal one. I watched the Tottenham and the City one.
Yeah.
And it was like all the questions I'd always wanted to know about, like,
Yeah.
what do the managers say at half time? What do the dressing rooms
Definitely
look like?
watch the Arsenal one. It's good. That's really good.
The Arsenal one. I'm not supporting
Have you
Arsenal,
watched, talking of TV football programmes, have you watched the one with Wrexham and Ryan Reynolds and Joe McElhenney?
No.
Honestly,
I love that.
That is brilliant. That's
Yeah.
and there's like 18 episodes, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not that many. But anyway, that's really good.
Such a good news
I
story.
prefer that to the behind the scenes ones like Amazon do.
Imagine being a Wrexham fan, die-hard Wrexham fan, all of a sudden.
They're like top of the league. I think they were before. I think they drew at the weekend, but they were top of the league.
What league are they even in?
National League.
what even is the National League?
Well, you'll watch the series. I don't give any spoilers away, but they've been the longest. They've been in the National League the longest out of any club that's currently in the National League.
The stuff below the conference.
No, that is the old conference. So it goes
Right.
Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, National League,
Yeah. Okay.
and then it goes National League, North and South, and then it goes like other leagues.
Yeah.
Southern Premier.
It's mad, isn't it, how many football teams there actually are in the UK?
Yeah. Well, I obviously know about it. My friend and I. He's a Reading fan, kind of. I'm an Arsenal fan, but we just wanted to go somewhere local, so we started supporting Thatcham Town, who play in I think they play in the Southern League Division 1, which is 8th tier of English football. So obviously Bracknell Town played on TV last Monday in the FA Cup. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Bracknell Town played Ipswich Town in the FA Cup last
Okay.
Monday night on ITV4, I think it was.
Did they get thrashed?
They lost 3-0, but they were 0-0 at half time.
Fair.
But anyway, Bracknell Town were in the same league as Thatcham last year,
Right.
and they got promoted.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
There was something nice about like low-level football
I love
clubs. I used to go and watch Bristol Rovers. I lived in Bristol for a year. I went and watched Bristol Rovers, and that was proper like.
Yeah. That's cool.
The ground was falling apart. Like
A bit like Old Trafford then.
the pies and the beers were served by like Maureen, who was like the school dinner lady. It's like like unprofessional, but there's a charm about it. I love it.
Good, excellent. But yeah, going back to Ronaldo, and I've got a nice sort of segue coming here. You're going to like this one. So he says United hasn't moved on in 10 years and nothing's changed at all. And that's probably similar to a estate agency, isn't it? Would you agree? Even longer than 10 years.
Yeah. So the internet has changed the world
Yeah.
and has changed every single business. And the estate agency industry seems like it was very, very slow to catch up.
And still slow to catch up. Like most estate agents, I mean, as I said, the internet changed things. Most estate agents heavily rely on Rightmove and Zoopla on the market.
Yeah.
Not booming anymore.
No.
They're not booming.
No one watching this has even heard of Booming or knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's a company that started, gave it a go and collapsed all in the space of like 5 minutes.
There we go. But most estate agents, certainly the ones, I mean, obviously, I was sort of different breed. I learned my trade in 08 and 09 when it was like recession, like incredibly difficult to sell houses. But the new breed of estate agent, I've said this a lot, I think they heavily rely on those leads coming in. And now the market's just turned a little bit off the back of that mini budget a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You know as well as I, there's far less people viewing houses. Doesn't matter what people say, that there genuinely is. There's, I've had a house on for 2 weeks, not had a single inquiry. It's not a bad price. Marketing's amazing. Why is it not selling?
Yeah.
And now I'm resorting back to I'm actually calling round buyers.
Yeah.
And generating viewings.
Picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of estate agents hadn't needed to do that,
No.
first of all, but also won't know how to do it. How do you sell a property to someone who doesn't want to view a house? Like how do you do it?
So what? When were you 17? When did you get into the business?
So I turned 17 November 2007.
Okay.
And I passed my driving test in January, so 2 months later, and then I got my first job in April 08.
A young Ryan Bloomfield passes his driving license, steps into the office.
Mate, I was literally 9 weeks from turning 17 to passing my test.
Nice.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was a legend. But yeah, so I think the estate agency world, certainly with our model, like the self-employed model, is changing, but still, I'm still heavily reliant on technology and internet.
Yeah. So my view on why estate agents are shit generally is
Don't
because
sit on the fence, by the way.
well, because from what I can see, most agencies are run by baby boomers who have franchises or multiple offices, and they have made their money in whatever the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they have had a vested interest in just kind of keeping things ticking along, doing things the way it's been done. Obviously, Rightmove and Zoopla have come along in like the 2000s, and so it's like the new way is to just like bung it on Rightmove and Zoopla. But all of the stuff that's happened in the last 10 years, social media, video marketing, like cheap and good iPhone cameras.
It's changed the world, but also estate agents, and I think for the better. Like,
absolutely,
it's easier to be a really good estate agent and create quality marketing and fantastic content. It's so much easier to do that now in 2022 than it was even in 2015.
And I think I got into the business later than you, obviously, and I was surprised that how can an agency charging money do pictures that badly?
Yeah, I know.
when you have a smartphone in your pocket that can take better pictures.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of the house I grew up in that was sold in 2011.
Yeah.
And like 2011, we had okay cameras.
Yeah, digital cameras out, weren't there?
Why are the photos just bad? Just like I couldn't work it out.
It's great. And the thing is, I think it's just go back a second on that point you made. I think it's very, very clear. Most estate agency owners, like the company owners, are probably 40s, 50s, 60s. That age range, that sort of 20-year span. And a estate agency from when they were on the shop floor back in the 90s and 2000s is a totally different world, but they're still trying to push it the same way. Take a few photos, now stick it online. It used to be stick it in the paper. Now stick it online, send out the junior neg to do the viewing. If they buy it, great. If they don't, that's not the end of the world, is it? And there's but they certainly companies I'm working for have been highly driven to push and just up the levels. Like there'll be annual targets coming up at the moment for most estate agents getting towards the end of the year, and you have an amazing year, and it's almost like bittersweet because you think I've smashed it in 2022, and I'm thinking 2023 is going to be a lot tougher, but I know going into that meeting with the owners and the directors, there's no way I'm going to predict that we're going to do less next year than we did this year. So I'll get shot. They'll be like, Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah,
always. And I had it. I had that as well.
Yeah.
Like having to sit. Before I joined Avocado, 2021, incredible year, best year of my career in management.
Yeah.
Got the second highest exchange record in the office I ran, and we absolutely smashed it. And I remember sitting in my annual review. I think we did something like 460. I think we finished on. And I went in and said, we're going to do 300 in 2022. And they were like, no, you're not. Bear in mind, we'd gone 150 grand over target that year anyway. And they're like, no, you're not. I was like, well, I genuinely think the market's going to get tougher. I mean, it transpired it didn't. But I had to almost predict what I was going to do and got shot down for it. When all I wanted to do was just be honest and say, this is what I think we can do.
Well, I think that's the difference as well, is that self-employed agents, and also it's important to note the rest of the world has self-employed agents.
Yeah.
The
UK probably the only one that's just a bit different, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at like the American model, Australian model, everything's real estate, individual people dealing with it.
And before I started self-employed, my targets went up from like 12 properties a month to 16 properties a month for deals to get on the market. And it was like nothing had changed, which was like, oh, you now got to do 4 more to earn less money.
Yeah.
Like,
and naturally, I think, obviously you always want to push yourself and be better, and actually 1 more a week, it's not the end of the world, but I'd rather just have that target at 12 and just smash it every month because you feel better in yourself and you're more confident when you're chasing the target, and then you just start chasing the wrong stuff. Yeah,
I think the point is, though, when the person at the bottom is chasing targets for the person in the middle who's chasing targets for the person at the top.
Just to keep the boss happy.
It's like, what?
Yeah, you can imagine the meeting at the end of the year, the boss sits down and goes, right, next year I want to do £150,000 more. How are you going to do it? And the manager goes, well, I'm just going to get the staff to do more. Great, okay, well, let's not change anything, let's not do anything, just tell them. and it'll happen.
Yeah, they'll get them to work harder.
Yeah.
And here's a whip.
Yeah, yeah. They're still serving up the same shit photos. They're still not doing video tours. They're still not educating people in the market free. Like, we put a lot of education out in terms of how to market your home, what to do. Not necessarily to get business back, but just to tell people what we do and show them there is a different way.
It is to get business back.
Yeah, we don't do it for nothing. Cool. Another topic of conversation I wanted to go on to for you, Matt, is, I don't know why I forgot it there, but it was right there, the World Cup.
Yes.
So
the World Cup in November.
So I hope by the time this comes out, you're editing actually, so it should be a couple of days before the World Cup starts if we get it out at the end of this week.
It's next week, isn't it? World
Starts
Cup
Sunday.
Starts on
Massive
Sunday.
game, first game, like to kick off all World Cups.
Yeah.
Qatar versus Ecuador. What a game!
Yeah, what a game!
What a game!
Star players galore in that one. Yeah.
I'm buzzing for it. Obviously, I know, we do the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of stuff about Qatar getting the World Cup, the human rights records. We're not politicians. We're not going to get involved, I don't think, about the conversation regarding that. Or maybe you are.
Well, on LBC, they were saying everyone was outraged. It was like, if you're gay and you're going to go to Qatar and hold hands with your boyfriend, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, don't.
Just don't do it.
Don't do
that. And everyone should have equal rights. Absolutely for that. And one of the best things about living in a country like we do in the UK is everyone can be who they want.
Yeah.
If you want to identify as a pigeon, fly away, son. You do what you want.
That's why the World Cup should be here.
Absolutely. Have you watched FIFA Uncensored? I think it's called FIFA Uncensored or FIFA Uncovered.
This is on Netflix, isn't it? No, I haven't.
So I watched the first episode and the rise of Sepp Blatter.
Yeah.
And honestly, you think you know what's gone on with the bribes and everything that's happened on the background of what you see in the news, but mate, it's legit. Like, the evidence there is pretty bad.
Is he in prison now?
No, he's still got away. Well, I haven't got any further yet, but no, he's still alive and kicking.
Yeah, it's mental.
But there's the guy that before him that kind of brought Sepp Blatter into FIFA. I can't remember his name, Brazilian guy, but he was like FIFA president for quite a while, and he was just taking massive bribes from the owner of Adidas, basically, to get all. So Adidas bought all the rights for all the World Cups, and he took the money for it.
It's just so...
It's like bad, like, and the numbers there, and it's just it's intense. Anyway,
irritates me.
Should we move on to the football? Because I'm really excited. Prediction: how far we're going to get?
I'd love for England to... We've had World Cup 2018, we did so well.
Yeah.
Beating everyone's expectations. And then we did it again at the Euros.
Yeah.
Can I see it happen a third time? In my heart of hearts, no. My
concern, obviously our group, if we don't get 9 points and 10 plus goal difference, we failed. Like, Iran should be 6-0. USA, 4-1. And Wales will be a tough game. But their Wales game is their grudge match is USA, because everyone's going to beat Iran, and if they beat USA, they qualify.
You say that, mate. Maybe Iran are going to come out.
Well, yeah, you say never know. You never know. Yeah, imagine if we lost 1-0 to Iran in the first game.
They could happen.
God, literally.
I just feel like spirits are low with this World Cup.
What I'm really concerned about, I think the squad is as good as it can be. I think losing people like Ben Chilwell and Reece James is massive for the defence. I'm really concerned that when we come up against France or Brazil, we're playing Mbappe or Neymar or even Ronaldo at Portugal, Harry Maguire or John Stones and Connor Cody, like, they're not world-class centre-backs, are they?
I was very impressed with Harry at the 2021 last year.
He's probably played more games for under-21s at United than he has for the first team this year. Like, he hasn't played. So, at the moment, John Stones and Connor Cody start centre-back for me. But Connor Cody of Everton, they're on a shit run of form. Am
I imagining that? Was Harry Maguire shit at the World Cup?
No, he wasn't.
Of the Euros, sorry.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't bad. I can't remember him making a major mistake.
I just remember feeling...
He was United, he was shit, and he was half decent for England.
I just remember feeling at the World Cup last year, I was like, our defence, I felt so safe that we weren't going to concede any goals.
Yeah. And it's not like that at all this year. But that's what I mean when we come up against a bigger team in the quarters or the semi. I genuinely think we'll get minimum quarterfinals. I think we'll probably get to the semi-finals, and we'll lose in the semis to someone like France.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a good tournament.
Would it though? Would you say English expectations now? Like, obviously we always like play it down. We don't really care. Like, we come on, not like 30 years ago. Like, we've got to win it again. We've got to win it again. I think if we go out in the semis, that's a failure again.
Well, so you think your minimum expectations to get to the final?
Yeah. And really do believe we can win it. But it depends how well the defence plays.
Have you seen that? There's that meme, or not a meme, but that picture of the England squad where we had Beckham, Scholes, the Neville brothers, Lampard, Gerrard, and it's like
Rooney, Owen.
How did this team not win more? And you look at that picture, and you think, how did this team not win more?
But that was the whole I've listened to so many chats that Gary Neville said about it and loads of things. But there was it was like team dynamics within the team. There was different, almost like rifts between the team. There was the United boys would sit together and the Liverpool boys would sit together, and there was no cohesion.
Right.
I think one thing Gareth always plays it safe, and he has done for the last couple of tournaments, which why people don't necessarily like what they see. But I think you need that in tournament football.
Yeah.
The team seems together. Obviously, we're speaking as just fans, but it does seem like they're together.
It certainly felt like that the last couple of tournaments.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the first game, 1:00 next Monday.
With Iran.
And
then it's USA on the Friday.
Then it's USA, then we play Wales the following Tuesday, I think.
Is Bale's still kicking around, isn't he, for Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is he now? Do you know?
He's not even that old, I don't think. I think he must be early 30s, I think. But he plays in America now. Have a little look while we're doing that.
Yeah, I'm buzzing for it.
But anyway, I'm excited.
I am buzzing for it.
I'm excited. I just think our defence, that's the only thing that can be possibly let us down.
Yeah, he's not even that old. Born 1989. So he's what?
He's a year older than me. 33? 32?
Yeah, 33. Why do I feel like he's so old?
He has been around for a long time though, isn't he?
Yeah, fair. I was in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
What a perfect career. Good stint at Tottenham. I suppose Real Madrid, he had a tough time, didn't he?
I think Gareth Bale's one of those players that could have been up there with Ronaldo, Messi, and maybe not Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, out of this world class. But obviously I don't know that, obviously. But he seemed like his time in Real Madrid, all the press that comes out, he just didn't care. Wanted to play golf, didn't really like it there. He was just there for the payday.
Yeah.
But he did win him a couple of Champions Leagues. Like that goal he scored, I think it was the Copa del Rey final, where he literally kicked the ball round the player and ran off the pitch round him and scored. It was honestly one of the best solo goals I've seen.
Bale, Butter, beat for pace here by Gareth Bale. It's a terrific run. Can he go all the way?
And didn't he score the overhead kick in the Champions League final?
3 in the box waiting for the cross, and it was Bale.
That was him, wasn't it?
I'm sure he did.
Against Liverpool.
And
a couple of years ago.
He did the thing that when you move to Spain, you grow your hair long.
Yeah.
Classic
Spanish.
Yeah. But
cool.
What else is going on in the world? So we got football. We got
property.
Did you see? I watched the Mayweather. There was a Mayweather fight.
Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't see it. To be fair.
I thought he retired, but like all boxers do, they say they're retired and then they come
someone
out
writes them a
retired.
check and they come back, don't they?
Yeah, I'll come out retirement for 100 mil.
If I have to.
He was just playing with this guy.
Was it boring?
Clip on the screen. Yeah, I mean, I just saw the highlights. To be fair, I'm not
cool.
Paper.
Funny thing in the news today, talking about boxing. Did you see Ricky Hatton's ring walk on Saturday?
Yeah, he came out in the Zimmer frame.
I thought it was brilliant. I didn't actually watch the fight. I don't know if he won or not. I know it's an exhibition fight, so. Yeah. But maybe quickly check it out, or just check it out now. But yeah, when he walked out in the Zimmer frame, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
hilarious. I
love that.
Also, other funny stuff in the news I saw. I think it's on TikTok as well. Do you see what Joe Biden did? At the I think it was at one of the COP.
Oh, what's he done?
So basically, they're in Indonesia or Cambodia, and he said something about thanks for being in Cambodia, putting on an amazing thing, and then he referred to the president of Colombia rather than Cambodia. So he said thanks for being in Cambodia, and special thanks to the president of Colombia, and just carried on like
he meant Cambodia.
Yeah, just like Honestly, there's so many things. There's so many
Joe.
things out there now with him. Like he's not quite there, is he? Bless him.
Well, on the one hand, I think, what the fuck do? We know we're not the president of the United States.
But you watch all these like Netflix programs and stuff of like the president being in place, and then he's just the puppet, the front man, and everyone else behind him is actually doing all the work and controlling the country, controlling the world. That cannot be more evident. Joe Biden sums up. I think Donald Trump might be a bit different because no one was going to tell him what to do, but you never know. But I think with this, genuinely, he hasn't got. I don't think he's got a clue what's going on.
So you can see in a way then that Joe Biden is just the face. And the power.
He's the
really
president of the United States, but I'm sure there'll be many people behind him telling him what to say, or evidently not, or what to do.
They must be pissed.
Yeah.
It's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think it's his age?
Definitely, yeah. I generally think he's ill, unfortunately. Like, might be like Alzheimer's. I don't know, Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. But he's not quite there. There's too many examples of him putting his foot in it, literally, like saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Not just a mistake, like genuinely not understanding what he's saying.
Do you reckon it could be like the pressure? Although he's always been a high-level politician, hasn't he?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure like in his day, absolutely, but I think he's just a bit old. Like there must be, I think there should be, I mean, again, we're not going to get into America. We touched a lot of touchy subjects here, haven't we?
Yeah,
let's not get into American politics because we don't really know enough about
upset the
it.
Americans.
But similar to the UK, when you get to a certain age, you have to retake your driving test, don't you? I think. I'm pretty sure like 70 or 75.
You're really old though by the time you're doing that.
But do you think they should have a cut-off point to be a politician? Like you can't run for Prime Minister or President if you're over the age of 70. For example.
Yeah, I wonder if this Joe Biden term might bring in some kind of rule like that.
I don't know if they ever would, but it makes sense to you, doesn't it? Because, we've all got elderly relatives and you do see them, when you see them every 6 months or so, every time you see them, they've deteriorated a little bit more, and it's sad, but that's life, obviously.
Yeah.
But you've got to, to run like America, to be the President of the United States, the leader of the free world. No, that's the UK, isn't it? Anyway,
they say the president's the leader of the free world.
Yeah. You've got to have your wits about you. I think if you're demonstrating that you can't, in a physical capacity, manage that role, then you shouldn't be in that role.
No, I think the trouble is as well is that Joe Biden, obviously, he's making it too easy for the other side to like throw shade at him.
Yeah, because all the midterm elections are happening. I must admit, not that I pay much attention to the US politics. One, because I don't really understand it. And two, I don't really care. But there's a lot going on. It's because like there's Trump talking about running for president again, but there's like I don't really know what's happening, to be honest with you. But there's a lot going on. It just seems like it's a bit of a mess over there.
Yeah, but it always seems that way. I was in America in 2015, and everyone was saying, if Trump gets in, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And Trump got in.
Do you think there's two lads sat somewhere in America doing their first podcast, talking about politics, and go, have you seen, I'm not going to do the accent, that's really bad. They'll say exactly the same about us. Have you seen the UK politicians? They've had 3 prime ministers in 3 months or whatever it is. Like they should adopt the same way as us.
Yeah.
They're probably saying exactly the same thing, aren't they?
Well, yeah, we can't talk about America being a joke, can we? When we've got...
Another topic, we didn't even discuss it before. Have you watched I'm a Celebrity?
I was like, that's a random segue, and then I realised why you've gone there.
Matt Hancock in I'm a Celeb.
Yeah, so I was on an appointment on Friday, and she had it on the background.
Really?
I could tell she was like talking to me, but then also wanted to see what Matt
That's Matt, that's really interesting, thanks, and just looking at the TV at the same time.
Yeah, so I've seen a few clips from Matt Hancock in the jungle.
Look, I'm going to throw out there, he's doing all right.
Is he?
Yeah, like, he seems quite genuine. Like,
yeah,
I really like me. He comes across quite genuine.
I fell in love.
Yeah,
I fell in love.
Yeah, right, maybe that bit.
And then
he was like,
the other guy's like, no, you're grabbing the bunda.
yeah, Babatunde. He's absolutely brilliant. Like, he comes on the little diary room thing. He's so funny. But it's just not like so. Matt Hancock's been called up for every single. He's been voted for every single trial, like every single one since he's been there. He's done 7 in a row now.
So I don't necessarily watch I'm a Celebrity every year.
Really?
Do the public vote?
Yeah. You don't watch it? It's like our little tradition, Lauren and I, for the end of the year. Normally it started differently because of the World Cup this year, but normally it starts and it finishes just before Christmas. It's like the build up to Christmas.
Yeah.
So basically you've got campmates in the camp, and each night it's on every night. Each night they do a trial to win food for the camp for that following evening.
Yeah, sure.
So the anti-deck will present the trial, and then you get to vote on an app.
So yes, that's what.
And you vote for who you want to do the trial.
So the public are obviously
like
Matt Hancock. You're going to
every
pay
single one,
motherfucker for all.
But then they made him as then there's another thing, they do leader of the camp, so they don't have to do any chores, or they get to sleep in the RV rather than in the camp, and they made him leader. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, coming back to it, there's a few people that don't like him in there. They've had a few issues.
Yeah.
Boy George doesn't like him. He's definitely not a Conservative voter. And there's a lady called Sue who was on, I don't know who she plays, I don't watch Coronation Street, but she was on Corrie or may even still be on Corrie for years.
Right.
She doesn't like him. She's definitely Labour through and through.
Yeah.
But,
well, this is what makes good telly,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And it is good. It's good to watch. You enjoy watching it. Like the trial that I watched last night, where he got attacked by a snake. Like literally, the snake was going for him twice, tried to bite him, and I was like, "This is TV. This is good TV."
Producers are there, like, yes, Matt Hancock. This is exactly what we want,
mate. This podcast stuff we are smashing, because segueing into from TV, I'm straight into the next topic.
Go on.
So one of the things we wanted to do is, we're not going to have many segments. We'll see how it develops over time. But one of the things we want to talk about each week is what you've been watching. Maybe we could play a guitar, have a little jingle. What you've been watching this week.
Dun, 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 dun.
So that's what we want to bring in. So it's good. So it can be anything. It can be a TV program. It can be a football match. It can be something on social media. So Matt, what have you been watching this week?
I haven't been watching any telly. I've just been scrolling TikTok endlessly.
Fair
endlessly.
Enough. You do love a TikTok.
I do love a TikTok, and you can just lose hours. I don't
use TikTok, I must admit. Obviously, I'm all other social medias, but do they have? I know, like YouTube's the same. It doesn't have the time in the corner. Like on your phone, if you're watching something, it still has the clock in the top corner. YouTube doesn't have. I watch obviously hours of YouTube. It's only all I really watch, and it doesn't. When you actually expand it on your screen, it doesn't have the time in the top right corner.
To try and keep you on there longer.
Yeah. Is TikTok the same?
I don't know. I think it is. I'm not sure.
Bear in mind, it's like casinos, isn't it? They don't have clocks in casinos.
Yeah, I know, because my hand starts hurting.
Yeah, that's
phone.
That's really bad. That's really bad. Yeah, my little finger hurts. To be fair.
Yeah.
Like when you're holding the phone,
Someone told me the other day that like our fingers are slowly getting disformed.
Mate, I saw something about that on Insta. It was probably Insta or something about someone's designed the human body in 200 years' time and what it would look like. And honestly, the two little fingers, the fingers and these ones are all extended, like longer than your middle fingers. And everyone's like hunched over, got massive backs, hunched over, and their eyes are bigger. It was really creepy. But when you're hunched, we obviously work on our laptops. I'm normally sat on this sofa on my laptop, or I'm on my phone, scrolling.
Yeah,
it's scary.
I'm like working like this most of the time. That's
changing the channel.
Can't be good for my back posture.
Yeah. Do you do 5 minutes of work? Send an email. Cool. TikTok. Send an email.
Yeah.
TikTok.
No, I do TikToks in the evening when I'm like, right, I'm done. Usually like when the food's on. I'll put my food on. I'll have like a 20-minute like TikTok. Just
fair enough.
Me time.
Anyway, what have you been watching on TikTok then?
I wanted to share with everyone a bit of positivity from our man Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah. Okay. I love Lewis Capaldi. I think he's so refreshing. Like you see lots of social media people that find a niche in the market. I know obviously he's a very talented musician. Let's not take anything away from him, but they find a niche on social media. And they hit it. Like there's the guys I've shown you before, the guys that do the dad jokes. It's something so like they sit there with their mug of tea and keep a straight face, say a joke, take a sip of tea.
Yeah.
And they're like obviously smashing it. And it's something you look at it and go, why didn't I think of that? That's so simple.
And I love Lewis Capaldi's latest campaign. Have you seen the billboard where he's just like got no top on?
No.
And he's like, he's not a stud in the traditional sense.
But that's what I mean. He's found a niche of breaking away from a stereotypical pop star of prim and proper, perfect, never says anything out of place. And he's there fucking swearing on his Instagram and just like... I remember it was the funniest one. I remember it maybe a year or 2 years ago when he first blew up on the scene, even more longer. And he said his value, he's now worth £10 million. And he's like, where the fuck is it? I've got like £5 in my bank. Where the fuck is that money?
Yeah, I love it because he's real. And I've back in my band's touring days, like I met loads of musicians.
Yeah.
And musicians are weird people.
Yeah.
Like generally weird people.
You are, yeah.
I am weird. Probably not weird enough, which is why I didn't make it.
Or talented.
But Lewis Capaldi's like leaning in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or talented. Lewis Capaldi's like leaning into the weirdness, and it's paid off, and I like that.
He has. He broke the mould, and that's what, don't get me wrong, very, very talented. But I'm sure there is extremely talented musicians that just haven't made it for whatever reason. Like, it's like footballers. Like, the amount of kids that go through football and are going to make it and then don't. And I imagine it's a lot similar with musicians, but he seems to have found a niche. Anyway, let's play this video because I'm intrigued to see it.
Hello there everybody, it's Lewis Capaldi here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, coming to you from London town to remind you that everything is absolutely pointless. Buttermilk pancakes on a gorgeous Sunday morning, absolutely pointless. The voice of a beautiful choir boy who is yet to feel the wrath of his teenage years, pointless.
That's my favourite quote.
Yeah.
A choir boy is yet to feel the wrath of his teenage years. Brilliant.
All the beauty of the world that we see around us will one day be gone, as will we be dead in the ground, and then this planet will explode and we will not be remembered by anybody or anything. It's all pointless. So get out there and enjoy your weekend with a smile.
I thought that was such a lovely little display of positivity there.
Well, in a roundabout way, back to front. I'm not sure about spending time with your loved ones and friends is pointless. I quite enjoy it. Like, that's your life, isn't it? That's what you like doing.
Well, I think he makes an interesting point though, because one day we're all going to be dead and gone. Yeah. Everything we know and love is going to be...
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Totally agree.
All of our missions to change a state agency,
gone.
Every house we've ever sold,
gone. The world's just going to end and there's going to be nothing.
Yeah, so I'm really upbeat about everything.
Good man, good man. Yeah. At least it's not raining and it's November.
Yeah, every conversation we've ever had about the weather,
gone. Yeah, British small talk.
Pointless.
Yeah. Someone walking in. What does the first thing you do when you walk into my house? It's typical British etiquette. Oh, tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee.
Pointless.
Oh, weather's all right today. Glad it ain't raining.
Yeah. Busy weekends? Yeah. Same. Pointless.
Classic.
Classic. My watching.
Yeah, what are you watching?
I cannot get enough of this guy. A friend of mine introduced me to him on Facebook probably about 3 weeks ago, and now his YouTube views have gone up exponentially because I've literally watched every video. His name is Harry Mack. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
I think I told you about him, didn't I?
Yeah, I've watched.
Oh my God. He's a freestyle rapper from LA. And basically, he's on like some sort of... he does live ones that he just goes around the city, gets a group, and just freestyle raps for them. I'll tell you a bit more about it in a second. But he does something, it's a sharing platform. It's called Omegle. Have you heard of it?
No.
Omegle. I've never heard of it. It must be an American thing. But basically, it's like everyone has a webcam, jump on the internet, and you just connect with random people.
Yeah, like...
And then you have a chat with them. It seems a bit weird, to be fair.
Chat roulette? Is that a thing?
Because well, I don't know. No, I'm not going to go on it, and I've not looked into it enough. But I imagine that's thing. It sounds like just lower the tone a little bit. If you're a pedo, it's probably the first thing you go on. Isn't it?
Like back in the early internet days, 2007. I remember you go on chat roulette.
Yeah.
And then you'd be matched up with someone, and then every once in a while it'd be some old guy holding his dick.
Anyway, we digress again. So he's on Omegle and he connects with people, and he has a little chat with them, and he says, "Give me 3 random words." And he always says no food or no animals, because everyone says food or animals, and like people come up with these random words, and then he literally he just plays a beat and off the bat raps for them.
Yeah,
mate, he is incredible, like incredible. I think he's massive. I think he's got like is 4 million viewers on TikTok. Massive.
Gee, it's a lot of views.
Yeah,
it's a lot of views.
4 million followers.
Should we play a clip?
Marshmallow, water, and ice.
Ice. They like, damn, Harry Mack, ayy, why you such a harsh fellow? You be crushing rappers, ayy, kinda like they marshmallows. Come in the lyrics, all of mine are liquid, you know that I'm spitting that water, ayy. I'ma keep rhyming with the lyrics that are tight, till you see me rocking the ice, yeah.
He's just incredible, an incredible talent.
Do you think he actually does it all freestyle?
He has to. Like, so he'd be rap. I'm not going to try and rap, but he'd be like, I'm rapping all day with my man who's in the grey.
Yeah.
Like as I'm rapping to you now.
I just can't get over how quickly people's.
Well, I watched a bit about him, and he's been doing it for like 20 years, and he said something about using both sides of his brains. Like he can use his brain to talk, and the other half to work out what he's going to say next. Yeah. But it happens so quickly. I mean, I look at it and go, like, amazing.
I've noticed with some rappers and like freestylers I've heard before, they will like repeat the like tune and the kind of rhythm of what they're saying, but like alternate words.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe.
And he does go back and he repeats a couple of times. Now I watch so much. There's a few like lines that he uses very similar.
Yeah. Kind of has them in his.
Yeah, in his locker. Like he's got so much like incredible vocabulary. But at the end of the day, people are giving him random words. He will use quantum mechanics in a rap. I don't know how he got to it.
I saw this one. There was two girls on the other side of a chat, and you can see at the start of the chat they're like, "Oh, whatever. Who's this guy? Who's this nerd?"
Literally. and they're like, "Oh my god!"
He starts rapping, and they're like,
what I love about it is when he rapped, and he's like, there was like a crowd forming around him, and he's rapping, and he says something about you guys in the back, don't be shy, come forward, or something like that. But as in the rap, obviously that didn't rhyme, but it was better than that.
I love it.
But
cool.
Yeah, anyway,
Harry
really
Mack.
good.
Is that Harry Mack?
Harry Mack, check him out. YouTube, Facebook, and he's on TikTok as well. You'll like him on TikTok. There we go.
Platforms.
Talking of rap though, should we call it a wrap?
Yeah,
I don't know how long we've been going for.
We can't do a 3-hour Joe Rogan. But,
Mate, I reckon we've been going for probably 45 minutes.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it was 11:35 when we started.
Let's call time on this, guys. But let's
should we do some plugs like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok?
Yeah, find us on shit.
Yeah. So we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We will be on YouTube when Matt sets it up.
Yeah, we're going to be everywhere.
And on TikTok as well. So we'll put in the notes, we'll put all the links. Is that right?
Links in the description.
There you go.
Fire us your questions over.
We've got to say stuff like, I'll make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah.
What do we need to do that on episode 1?
Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
There you go.
Yeah, and fire your questions, whether it's property related, whether it's football related, whether it's Reading related,
Berkshire related, UK related, world related,
whatever it is, we'd
love to hear.
Nothing's
yeah, that'd be
off
cool
limits.
actually. If we get a few questions in from people, when we don't know how many, like if we get 10 followers, I'll be happy. If we get 10 views, it'd be good.
Yeah,
but
start somewhere, right?
And if we get one question, we can answer that question. And as we build up, it'd be good to have like a little section at the end where we can actually go through the questions with people.
Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome. Nice one. Mate, I think that was a good first episode. Cheers, bud.
Bosh.
And we'll see you guys. Well, actually, apparently only, I think it's something like, I heard a stat, like, story chatting again. I think it's something like 50% of all podcasts only have one episode.
Yeah.
So we might not see us again.
It's been fun.
But hopefully, I think we're going to try and do them fortnightly.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Again. But hopefully we'll see you guys again soon. So thanks very much for listening. If you've listened for the entire 46 or 47 minutes of whatever it is. Peace out.
Cue jingle.
Yeah. They like, damn, Harry Mack, ayy, why you such a harsh fellow? You be crushing rappers, ayy, kinda like they marshmallows. Y'all know that they soft, ayy, I'ma give you more. Crush a rapper like a marshmallow, all up in my s'more. Let's go, ayy, I'm getting loose whenever I'm